Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris and this is Restoration Rescue. So last week we came in and we rebuilt the carburetor. So this thing should be ready to write out and drive away. But that's not something we're gonna be doing today as I have made a big decision. And the decision is I wanna do the hood and the doors and the frame, or the cab rather, and paint everything together so that it's all uniform and all correct so that we don't have to remix paint and hope for the best that they all match. So what we are going to do today instead is I'm going to work on getting the hood from that side of the garage over and on the back of this frame so I can start grinding away some of that ugly blue paint and start on the bodywork. So unfortunately for you guys, again, we are going to be back to grinding and we are going to be back to welding. So we have a little bit of welding, we have a little bit more body work to do. We're gonna get this hood looking absolutely amazing. So we're gonna work on getting this thing ground down and seeing exactly what we need to do to fix it and make it look amazing. Now, there is aftermarket options, however, they are really, really expensive. So instead, we have a pretty good hood. So I just need to grind back that paint, see what I need to do to fix it. If I need to order any patch panels, I have some extra metal, so let's hope we don't need that. So first thing we need to do is rip it out from the other side of this cab and get it on the back of this frame. So that definitely was a two-person job. However, we did it alone. That took quite a bit. This thing is kind of dirty. We obviously have a dent right here that we're gonna need to fix at some point. Not a big deal, there's some Bondo as I can definitely see it. And then also we have a big hole here as well as on some of the inner frame. So on here, there's supposed to be a piece that goes all the way in and that's rotted out. Also, if we come up here to the front, you can see right here how we're rotted out. And we also have a little bit of moss. So the inner frame and the exterior frame right here is rotted away. Some more on the inner frame near the handle is rotted out as well. But first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start grinding away some of this paint to see how good or bad this metal is. like we said earlier, we do have a pretty big rust hole right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start stripping the paint right in here to kind of see what I need to do to fix this. So it doesn't get into the corner of the panel, it does get a little low. So I'm just gonna put a patch like this in here, but I kind of wanna see what metal I'm working with. So let's go ahead and start just stripping back the paint in this square and see what I need. Obviously on the inside, I'm gonna need to repair inside, because you can see I go all the way through, and there is an inner brace that goes across the internal of the panel. But let's go ahead and see what we're gonna need to do right here. As we can see is we're probably gonna have to make this whole thing right here, and I may just go at a slant and come up to this corner because I want to save as much of the original metal as I can. So we have some holes and cracking right up into here, so we're gonna have to go pretty wide out here. We have some cracking all the way up to here, so I'll probably go right under this body line and down and across. But let's go ahead and continue grinding back all of this ugly blue paint, which, as I can see here, there's also a layer of green. So we have the original, we can't really see right here, but there's an original level of primer, then a layer of green, and it looks like the blue just got painted right on top of it. So we're gonna keep on grinding away, getting this panel down to its original metal, and making this thing getting ready so that we can start doing our body work. So let's go ahead and keep grinding. So as you can see right here, we have quite a bit of rust from the inside and the outside. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little bit of 40 grit on our grinder, and I'm just gonna grind away and kind of see what I can do. It looks as though I might be able to get away with just coming up here, slitting it here, and being able to make the patch panel here. But let's go ahead and kind of see where our good versus our bad metal is. So our rust even goes out into here. So this whole panel right here is gonna need to be replaced almost to the front grille. So just on the bottom, I can make panels. So I probably will come in here, as well as there's a dent here we gotta bang out. But we're gonna cut up in here and make this whole panel, but we also have to make the inside. The inside is also rusted out, and we have to get this headlight out so we can protect it. But what we're gonna do now is we are gonna keep on trucking and keep on grinding this old ugly paint away and making this thing back down to its original color. So as you can see while we were grinding, that spot right here was just nothing but Bondo or filler, so there is a pretty big dent. However, this dent also has some old rust in it. So I don't know if that's what they were covering up, so I'll probably have to put a patch in here to make sure that this is nice and smooth, and I can get rid of the 8 pounds of filler that they used to clean this. So we're going to continue working on finding all of the mess that was left behind by the previous people and the previous paint job. So there is a lot of filler that's on here. You can see it right here. So this is definitely a respray. And the thing that they did is they just went over the green paint with their dent repair. So I am not really impressed. So we're gonna keep on fighting this thing, getting this thing down to bare metal, and we still have to flip it over and get to that, which I'm a little worried about because it looks really, really rusty. So let's continue knocking off this side and making this side look good. So we have all of the paint off of the top of this hood. We have found quite a few dents and dings along the way that we're gonna have to pull out, and we found a lot of Bondo. So right here, there's a dent here. There's an indentation down here where I'm rubbing, as well as a dent over there. So we did open up a couple of rust holes, obviously, as well. We have one over here. We also have one here. I don't know if you guys can really see it right now. You do have to open that up a little bit more, see what we're working with, as well as we had over there. This side was pretty good. So we are going to do right now is flip this thing over and start looking at underneath, because we know the brace over there has some issues. And when I was moving it, I saw there was an issue right here. So we're gonna have to look at that as well as the bracing up there. So let's go ahead and work on flipping this over so we can see how bad the underneath looks. So we have it now upside down, and we have some issues inside. Obviously, the main body is mostly good. We have a hole right back here behind our hood latch, which is kind of locked into place and is not really moving. So that'll need to be addressed. We have a hole right here, as well as we have some holes down in here that we're gonna have to take care of. Now we're getting pretty good at welding since we've had to weld quite a bit. We do need to get some of this rust all broken off. So that's what we're gonna start doing now. I'm gonna go grab my Craftsman with a wire brush and just start hitting it on some of this. Maybe take off these braces, but I'm definitely going to take off this hood latch to get underneath and kind of see what I need to do to fix this brace so that we can keep going. Have a little bit of hole here. So the front brace is not great. There's a hole over there as well. But we're gonna fix this, make this thing look awesome, get this thing ready for some primer. We have some holes here, obviously on the outside over there. But our headlight bezels don't look horrible. We are gonna get those things out so that we can save them, protect them, and go from there. So let's get that wire brush and start scraping up some of this metal. So we have gotten a lot of work here done today. However, we still have a lot more. We have a lot of rust holes that we're gonna need to fabricate some metal and get that looking great. I am debating at this point right now of whether or not to take off that whole front panel and either rebuild it or buy a whole new one. So they do sell that whole panel new. The problem is the inner brace does not. So there is some debate there. Otherwise, this thing looks absolutely perfect, minus this right here and a little bit right here. So this will get taken care of. That will get taken care of. Next week, I think we're gonna end up popping that front end off. But unfortunately, we have run out of time here today. It has been a very long day of grinding, welding. Well, no welding, just grinding away paint and a lot of rust. So it's looking 100% better. We're getting closer to having this ready for it. I would say a couple weeks of welding, grinding, and grinding, and this will be ready, and then we can get onto doors. I know I'm excited, and I said I really wanted to drive this thing again, but I really want to get this all set up and everything at the paint booth at the same time. Have this on stands, have the fenders on stands, and get everything primed out at the same time. And the reason for that is that I just want it to all be uniform. Then we can work on body then again, and then we can throw down some paint. But again, we have run out of time this week. We'll see you guys next Saturday when we continue working on the build. Make sure you guys comment on the videos, make sure you like the video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. So we'll see you guys next time, and we'll see you next Saturday.